Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing good, and in this video I'm going to help you solve a very important and hard SQL question which is often asked in the Amazon data engineering interviews. So I got this question from a data limmer, and yeah, so the question is titled as server utilization time. So let's see the question and let's try to understand the question, right? So AWS is powered by a fleet of servers. Senior management has requested data-driven solutions to optimize server usage. Write a query that calculates the total time that the fleet of servers was running. The output should be in units of full days. Okay. Okay, so we have three different columns, which is server ID, status, time, and session status, right? Cool. So the assumptions are each server might stop and start several times. The total time in which the fleet server is running can be calculated as the sum of each server's uptime. Okay. So let's run the code here and try to see how the data looks like. So we have server ID, the start stop, multiple start stops are there, and we have the status time as well, right? So we'll have to find out the total time in which the server fleet is running. So we'll have to find out the total time across multiple server IDs, the uptime basically across multiple server IDs, right? So here you can see that, okay, so server ID 1 start and stop is there. So we are calculating the difference between these two, and also we are calculating the difference between these two because these are subsequent start and stops. And yeah, so we are summing it up the total uptime, and here we are getting the total uptime days as 21. Now what I have done is that for the ease of explanation, I have created the DDL and I've created the insert query, and I have inserted all of these data, the sample data, in my local SQL server, and I'll be solving this particular question in my local server itself, right? So yeah, here we go. So this is how the table looks like. We have the server ID, we have the status time, we have the session status, right? So the first thing is that we need to order by, just to get a good idea about the data, because here if you see, right, the server ID 1111, if you see start, stop and start, if you see over here, the date is not ordered properly, and because of that we have multiple like start, stop, and after that stop is there. Ideally it should be start, stop, right? So yeah, let's order by server ID and status time, right? So once I order by server ID and status time, I would be able to see that we would be able to see the data ordered by server ID and status time, right? So yeah, now we have start, stop. Here also for server ID 2 we have start and stop. For 3 we have 4 records. For 4 we have 2 records. For 5 we have 2 records, right? Now we have everything according to the order, right? So what we can do here is that we need to first find out the difference between the subsequent start and stops, right? The time difference, right? And to do that, what we can do is that we can use lead in order to get the difference, right? So yeah, let's start with this. We'll create a CTA later, but yeah, we can use lead, and lead of status time, we'll keep 1 as the step, and then the default value we can keep it as status time, right? And then over partition by, we are going to partition with server ID, right? And we are going to order by status time. This we can name as lead status time. Let's run it. Okay, so now we have the lead status time per server ID, right? We have the start, and then for this particular session, this is the end time, or session end time, or something like that. It would be better if we rename it as session end time, right? Yeah, let's consider it as session end time. So yeah, So this is the start time, this is the end time, and so for this, we only need to consider the session status is equal to start, because the stop, we do not have to consider the stop, right? Because we are only concerned about that particular row wherein the session status is start, right? Because in that particular row only we are getting the session start time and the end time. For this, we are getting the end time or the start time for the next subsequent start, which does not make sense, right? So what we can do here is that we can encapsulate with CTE as this select star from CTE, where session session status is equal to start, right? 1 second. Okay, so we'll have to remove this thing, which is order by. Cool. So now we have the server ID, and for each session we have the start time and then we have the end time, right? So the session time is basically the start time, and the session end time is basically the session end time for that particular session for that particular server. Now what we need to do is that we need to get the time difference between these two timestamps, right? The start time and the end time for a particular server ID. So for that, we can do date diff. Yeah, we can use date diff, and let's see the parameters. Session. Okay, so we'll have to give day here, and then session end time, and then status time from this. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so 1 second, let's just switch it as uptime. Okay, now let's run it. So okay, so here for 2 this is this, for 3 this is this, for 4 this. So I want to see the data once, because here it is coming as 0. So I just want to ensure that whatever output it is getting is right or no, right? We are getting is right or wrong. Select star from what is the table name? The table name is server utilization, right? So yeah, let's run it. Okay, let's order by server ID, and then status time. Okay, so stop. Okay, so here so this is fine. We have today's. Okay, so this is not considering it as one entire day, right? Okay, so this is same date. First of all, we are getting the difference in terms of days. So that's why the difference between these two is coming as 0, because it's not an entire day, right? And this is an int, it returns an int, right? So I think we are good. So once we have this, to get the total uptime, simply we can do select from this. We can give an alias like this, and then sum of uptime. Server time. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we have the output now. We have the server uptime as 26. Let's see the data as well, right? By server ID and session Cool. So we have the output as 26, and I think the output is right because we are getting the data in terms of days, server uptime days, right? Yeah. So we are getting the right output. So initially what we did was that we tried to kind of visualize the data, ordering by server ID and session time. And then we got the subsequent stop timestamp by using lead incremented by one, like the lead increment would be one. That's how we will get the subsequent stop timestamp. Using that particular stop timestamp for that particular session, we will have to get the difference in terms of seconds here, in terms of days. And once we get that, since we'll have to find out the entire uptime across all of the servers, we can just simply do a sum of uptime, and yeah, that would give you the output. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys like this video, and in future I'm gonna post a lot more videos about SQL and Python and about data engineering in general. So do follow my channel. Thank you.